Have you ever walked into a room full of people and felt like your brain just stopped? Not because you're unintelligent, not because you have nothing to say, but because your body tightened. Your shoulders subtly braced, your breath changed, and suddenly your thoughts felt far away. You're standing there, smiling, nodding, but inside, it feels blank. If that sounds familiar, this may not be social anxiety. It may be a nervous system that never fully learned safety. For a long time, I thought I was just awkward, too quiet, too serious, too sensitive. But the truth was deeper. I grew up with parents who both carried autistic traits. There was structure, there was practicality, there was responsibility. But emotional attunement wasn't always natural. No one meant harm, but emotional safety wasn't something that flowed easily. And when emotional cues are unpredictable or unclear, a child learns to scan, to read the room, to adjust quickly, to anticipate. Not because she's dramatic, but because connection feels uncertain. So when I enter a room today, my body sometimes still does what it learned early. It scans. Who seems safe? What's the tone? Is there tension? Do I need to adapt? And when your nervous system is scanning for safety, it prioritizes survival over thinking. That's why the mind can feel blank. Not because you're empty, but because your system is protecting you. Some of us don't just have conversations, we manage energy. We track micro shifts. We soften ourselves. We prevent tension before it appears. It looks socially intelligent, but it's exhausting. And when you leave, you crash. Not because you failed, but because you were working invisibly. What changed things for me was not trying to be more confident. It was learning to create safety. Before entering a room, I sometimes say quietly, "Thank you that this goes well." Not as superstition, but as regulation. It signals to my nervous system, we're safe. Sometimes I remind myself, I am not responsible for everyone's comfort. I don't have to manage the emotional field. Someone else can hold that. And when I release that responsibility, something softens. I once realized something that shifted everything. If you have a wound on your skin, you cannot think it into healing. You cannot mentally force the cells to repair. Nature does that. The body heals when it feels safe enough, and the mind is similar. When I stop trying to control every moment, when I allow the room to exist without me managing it, questions come naturally. Curiosity returns. My thoughts flow again, because my nervous system is no longer in alarm. Safety allows intelligence. Safety allows personality. Safety allows presence. If you grew up in an environment where emotional attunement wasn't consistent, if you learned to adapt early, your system makes sense. You're not broken. You adapted beautifully. And just like the body heals a wound, your nervous system can learn safety. Not through force, through gentleness. I explore this more deeply in The Peacekeeper Nervous System. You were never too sensitive. You were protecting yourself. And protection is something we can slowly, gently update.